Hello, I'm Lonnie.
I'm Amberlicious.
We're Untitled Nerd Network. This is the review of La Llorona, or
The
the Curse
Curse
of
of
La
La
Llorona.
Llorona.
And yeah, like dang, we've been doing commentaries and stuff, and I almost like screwed up and said the commentary, and I had to catch myself. It's like one to the other.
I know because you've been saying the review on the commentary.
But
Be that way sometimes.
this very loosely ties into the Conjuring universe.
Yep.
Literally, the only thing it has in common is the priest that took Annabelle.
And
That,
in the Annabelle movie. Yeah.
yeah, that was it.
That was it. That was the only tie to it. The whole universe. But it was still a really good story.
Yeah.
It was really scary. You
I,
know?
it was interesting how she basically caused the death of that woman's children, and
Mm-hmm.
then she went through probably just scene for scene almost what that woman went through
Mm-hmm.
as a result. And
Yeah, because she comes in on, it starts out this caseworker goes to see someone that she's familiar with, that she has a history with. Apparently, the mom has a drinking problem, and sometimes she's good. Sometimes the caseworker needs to, kind of show her face and remind her, hey, get shit together. And she goes, and she's got her kids locked in a closet. Her apartment's full of candles. Of course, the mom's acting real strange, and yada yada yada. And so they think she's gone crazy, and she let the kids out. And kids go in custody. They end up dying, but it was because of La Llorona. She came
yeah,
and got them.
drowned them in a river like right across the street.
Yeah. And the priest is who gives the background of La Llorona.
Yeah.
He tells the background of how she caught her husband with a younger woman. She, in a jealous rage, she drowns the kids to get back at him. Then she feels bad about it because she realizes, hey, I really fucked up, and she kills herself and drowns herself.
Yeah.
And so,
I mean, crap, you could have like a whole spin-off series of different legends and stuff.
oh
You
yeah,
know, just all you got to do is just show one of the, oh, remember that guy that Ed Warren bought a hot dog from in The Conjuring 2? This is what happened to him.
right. But, I mean, that's true because they really have impacted that many people's lives. Plus, it's almost like, they have 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. You can probably play 6 degrees of the Warrens.
Yeah.
Like, this happened, this happened, this happened, and the Warrens showed up at this place. Like,
Yeah. Which I've become accustomed that I guess it's almost like Call of Duty in a way. You've got like one installment one year, and then the different franchise the next year, and then it's like A B A B. Because this is one of the B movies. This isn't the main Conjuring.
it's not, even though it lists it as like something you should watch, you don't have to watch it. You can skip over it if you want to. However, it's a good enough movie. I'd recommend somebody watch it.
Oh yeah, it's a pretty good
You know.
movie. It's a lot better than The Nun was.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That is exactly what I told you when we started watching this movie. I said, well, it can't be no worse than the last one we watched.
Yeah.
Like,
And this one wasn't like a super masterpiece, but it was pretty good. Um, but yeah, she ends up going through all the same crap that
the
woman,
caseworker.
I'm sure went, the other lady went through, and luckily they find that guy who used to be a priest, and he knows how to handle business.
right. Because the church couldn't help them quick enough, basically.
And the scene, because he basically protects them,
Mm-hmm.
and has this whole plan and everything, and God, he ends up like doing protection over the house, and they got that beans thing either the seeds, and like the little girl, almost screwed the whole thing up.
Yep, because she wanted her doll.
Yeah. Something like that. That was a pretty nerve-wracking part, but...
It was. Well, they were like, he uses unorthodox methods, and you're watching him the whole time, and you're like, this doesn't seem very unorthodox.
The church, I bet the church probably...
No, here's what it was. He told them the light would protect them, and this, that, and this. That was a lie. The light would not protect them. He used them as bait.
Yeah.
That was the unorthodox part the church was referring to. They would never use a human as bait.
That, and well, see, I also took it as the church might not use those different seeds and stuff as protection and stuff. They pretty much rely on the Bible and holy water.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't see them really, using those cleansing tactics.
I consider that the science part. Like, hey, this tree killed her, or this tree witnessed her, her sin, so, we're using the seeds from those trees. That's it's almost like a
science-based thing.
It's almost like a Pokemon thing. It's like, all right, ghost is weak to seed. It's like...
Yeah, that's pretty accurate,
So... I don't know. It's like
your fire types against your grass types.
Yeah,
it is.
I don't know. Are ghost types weak to seed or plant types?
I think ghost types are weak to psychic types.
I don't want to get too into this conversation.
I know, we're getting off the rails a little bit. But anyway, so they end up. One of the twists on this movie was like, you think La Llorona is escorting the kids out of the house. And it's the woman whose kids got killed. Because she straight up, when the caseworker lady goes to see her, she straight up says, I didn't pray to God for them to go to heaven. I prayed to her to take your kid's son and have mine back. I was like, shit, she really is off her rocker. But she was trying to lead the kids out to La Llorona. That was a twist. I almost expected her to be behind everything the whole time when they did that.
Oh, and it ended up not being a supernatural thing at all?
Yeah.
She just...
I really did expect that, but no, it was still supernatural. But
I feel like that would have been a letdown if they would have...
Yeah.
It would have been a hell of a twist. It would have
been a hell of a twist, but it also been a letdown, because that would be why I would think critics gave it such an underrating if that was the ending. But that wasn't the ending. She ends up realizing after she's almost sacrificed the children to La Llorona, they're up in the attic and she's approaching them and shit like that. She realizes, man, I fucked up. This ain't even right. And then she lets the mom out of the closet and is like, hey, go up there and get them. And they end up...
I mean, this was a pretty good movie. They kind of gave you an unnecessary, that little unnecessary creepy music right at the end. I'm like, well, what are they saying? Like, the ghost might still be around, or...
Yeah. It was just to kind of give you an eerie feeling. It was to, even though she, stabbed it in the chest and vanquished it, she's still always going to be kind of cautious.
Yeah.
But it wasn't all that great because typical scary movie fashion, the killer or the bad guy or whoever always gets a second scare. You expect it right there.
At least to the audience.
Yeah, and you did not get it.
Well, it's kind of like, I don't know. Just watch it. It was kind of like whatever you see the end and it, the screen goes black and it, you get some of those movies that's like the end and then it'll have a question mark and you're like,
what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
You were afraid it was a Phoenix thing and you just missed something.
I was making sure it wasn't hiding in a window or something and I just didn't see it.
Not this time.
Well, one of the story behind that, to clarify quickly, is whenever X-Men 2, which I think was like 2003, was in theaters, I went and saw it first time, and at the end, Jean Grey sacrifices herself. You know, it's all flames and everything like the Phoenix. Well, you know, she ends up getting buried under the lake, and at the very, very end, the very last, like 5 seconds of the movie, the camera zooms in over the lake, and it's like, while it's just going along the water, you see the white Phoenix bird in the water. First time I saw it, we were walking out, and everybody was like, "Oh, did you see that Phoenix?" I'm like, "What?" I was like, "Well, crap." So the second time I went and saw it, I was looking for it, and I still didn't see it. And the third time I went and saw it, I was looking for it, and I still didn't see it. It took me getting home, buying it on DVD like 6 months later, and viewing it on the TV for me to see it. I watched it like 4 times more before I was like, there it is. I don't know.
Anyway.
I can't explain it.
What do you give this movie?
8.
Why do you give it an 8?
Just because, I mean, it was a good movie. It was entertaining. It wasn't quite as scary. Like, there were some scary parts here and there, but the overall movie felt more like, oh, you know, we've got this badass former priest showing up to fight the demon, you know. He seemed like he had stuff in control a little more, and it didn't scare me as much.
Right.
As even like...
Well, it's because he was so lighthearted about the situation, too.
Yeah.
He made jokes and shit, you know.
Like, I don't know, for some
reason... he didn't think they took him seriously, you know.
He was to this movie like the Frog Brothers were to the Lost Boys. Mm-hmm. You know, he knew what he was doing, but he was going to look kind of goofy doing it, and just he's like an entertaining. I don't want to call it slapstick character, but
no, not really slapstick, but comedic relief.
Yeah.
And
here's the thing: I enjoy comedic relief in movies. You know, Marvel has done it right. But I really don't think it belonged in this film. Like, I enjoyed it, but I just think the movie could have benefited from having a little bit of a darker tone given the subject matter.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
This movie was way too lighthearted to be a Conjuring film.
That's true.
So.
But even, it was still better than The Nun, though. Fucking A. But I'm the same. I give it an A. I mean, A. An 8.
Would that be an A minus?
No, not an A minus.
Right.
But mainly because, like, yeah, the ending was good. They escaped, but you know, the way they didn't have a second scare, I didn't like that. Just her feeling eerie, looking at herself in the puddle.
Yeah.
And that, you know, it was only minorly tied to the franchise.
It had no bearing whatsoever on the overall structure.
I mean, that we know of. I mean, who knows if when we watch The Devil Made Me Do It,
if they don't reference this.
Yeah, because they probably, or hell, it is the priest from Annabelle, so they might mention it in Annabelle Comes Home.
Yeah.
So,
you never know. Holy crap.
We'll see.
Yep. All right. Well, we will be back for the next one. This is another video in our 2021 Halloween horror movie reviews. Still got a couple more in the Conjuring universe, and then a few more movies scattered throughout the month. But we'll see y'all next time. I'm Lonnie.
I'm Amberlicious.
We are Untitled Nerd Network.